Oh my word, time for a winter coat. Wake up, flock! We've arrived in Ravsicle. You have to see this. Okay, I have to admit, as cool as seeing an entire new galaxy would be or something like that, I would be mostly excited that I just survived cryosleep. That would probably take up a lot of my attention, to be completely honest. Just a celebration of like, I made it! I made it! I would have like the worst insomnia trying to go into cryosleep just because I would be so nervous. Well, I say that, but you know, I'm terrified of flying over the open ocean. So whenever Chips and I have had to like fly over the ocean, we've gone over both the Pacific and the Atlantic. I just pass out of fear. I just fall asleep out of sheer fear. So maybe I would just sleep the whole way, like very peacefully, wake up, and then just like, do I kiss the ground of an asteroid? An alien asteroid? That sounds like it's asking for trouble, but you gotta have a little bit of that human bird spirit when you arrive to a new place. Well, looks really inviting. I hope there's at least some treasure under all this ice and snow. Now I have to have a really deep think about what would treasure be for an alien race. Huh. That treasure is called data, Rust, and the system is full of it, but first we need to set up the space station, or we'll freeze to death. Freeze? Well, that's not how I'd like to start my Tuesday. Nice job, Stella. You broke the captain. Don't be such a doom squawker. First, let's grab a cup of hot coffee, and then we find a solution. I'm fine. We're all gonna be fine, provided we stick to my grand master plan. Gather resources, set up station, find the strangelets, boom, promotions, glory, and possibly cake. I slept like a chick. Those cryo eggs are as comfy as nest back in the day. Aw, I wonder how the greenery did. Also, it's frosty here. Well observed, Herb. We need to insulate our corridors before we venture out into the system. You must be telepathic, Stella. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Great minds think alike. Let's do it. Okay, so we need to go ahead. We need to get to station level 2. And we're gonna need to do what now? Like, we just station level 2? Like, that's the thing that we need to do? But okay, so some aluminum. Also, what is this? Methane! Oh, I see. So I think we just need to like start gathering things and extracting things and sending poor little Yoke, if Yoke is about, down to gather up some more some more of the credits. And also, while we're here, I wonder if there's a way to check if we can go ahead 64 stars without upgrading a building. Ooh, let's see if we can pull that off this time so that we can have a little bit more of a bit of a boost so that we can do some upgrades after all. Also, we'll work on getting more of the aluminum in there. Wait, does boosting this count as boosting a building? Because I think it counts as an extractor, right? So did I already, I don't think I already lost that. -1 star? Okay, maybe I did. Maybe that counted as a building. Well, look, I'm trying to keep my poor little ones warm enough. You know what I mean? Also, let's see. We've still got more aluminum. Let's do some of that research. Let's upgrade the launch pads to make sure that they're really moving and grooving. New modular quest, silicon, sulfur, and uranium. We need to get to level 2 of the space station, so we need to find one of those at least. So uranium and something else over here, and then we're out of discovery points actually. Whoops. Let's see. Uranium and sulfur for the little lab, and I'm out of the tech points until we get a little bit more of the aluminum in. Whoops. I need to really be careful about that. We could end up in quite the conundrum. Let's see. Are we sending off this patch? Is it just taking a while? All right. Off to the space station with you. Okay, thank goodness. Okay. I need to be careful because like whatever resources we generate are the only ones we have after all, since we've gone so far away so far away from, I mean, 94 years, was it? From anything familiar to us. All right, and then we'll work on rapid extracting. Let's see, the aluminum is going. And then we are working on extracting and hopefully sending off the uranium for the reactor. And that should keep us warmer. And then we're gonna keep going on the tech because we need to just keep building our tech points for a minute in order to make sure that we can get out of here, you know, somewhat alive, not being turned into frozen birds. We gotta work on the nice down coat. There we go. That's a lot better already. Next mission, look for strangelets. After all, that's what we came here for. That is what we came here for, Captain. All right, so next up we need to find a strangelet. Just the one. Okay, that's good to know. Also we have new supply quest available. Let's keep that aluminum coming on in. And let's upgrade the engine room with more of the uranium since we're already pumping these things out. We can upgrade some of these pieces. I gotta be careful not to move too quickly. But all right, so if we need to find some strangelets, then let's discover more of these asteroids. I think we have to get like a little closer to some of them before we can keep exploring. Let's see. This one has the methane as well. What about this one with like 3 things on it? That one's got the methane too. And then something mystery over there. I really appreciate having so many asteroids to venture on. That's very helpful. All right, so let's see. And if I really want to get that aluminum moving and grooving so we can get more quests, let's see. And the uranium also would give us a little bit of tech points. That's kind of our big thing at the moment. Is that silicon and not uranium? For crying out loud, it is. All right, well now I need to go and I need to find where the silicon went. I can't believe I ended up getting that. I mean, I can. All right. I guess we're gonna have to send some stuff from this asteroid, but that's fine. Ooh, look at all that methane! And there's silicon and some of the uranium right here. And actually some little tech points for the data that we can send to Stella after all. All right, we'll get that uranium extracting. We'll go quick on that. We'll upgrade the launch pad as well, because we're gonna need that. We'll get the engine room upgraded with the silicon. I said uranium again. It's all green. Beautiful, pretty green things that don't happen to be leaves and don't happen to be jade either. Also, methane has no right to be so cute when it's whatever it is right now. All right, let's see. So we're gonna upgrade the engine room. Get the aluminum out there. Silicon, aluminum, uranium. Yes. I very much want to have more tech points too. Let's see. The methane naturally occurring. But I haven't... Oh, an ice extractor! Well, I wonder if we accept that quest at some point soon. Alright, I'm accepting that. There we go. There ain't much water here. At least not liquid. So what's with these icy patches on some of the nearby asteroids? Well spotted. At these temperatures, fluids and gases like water and methane freeze solid. Stella, let's research these ice extractors you designed. They could solve our problem. Dun 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 dun! We just need the research points available. Aluminum and sulfur. So let's go find some sulfur! We have adventure to pursue after all! Alright, so let's see. We'll gather some of those little credits. And can't pass up these research points. And then let's check out what our options are as we carry on with getting more of the tech points. So we need some sulfur, correct? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. I knew we had a pile of sulfur somewhere, and here we are. All right, so let's see. There's some sulfur there. That would definitely be a fast trip. Boom. And then once we get that sent off, we'll upgrade this launch pad again so we can really just like get that sulfur going, get that uranium out there. We've got things to do. We've got research to research. And then let's see. What else are we pulling along? There's the silicon. There's the uranium. And here is little Yoke doing his driving lessons. Can you imagine how long it would probably take to go ahead and provide some driving lessons to this little guy? Oh my word. Because you'd have to find like a solid asteroid surface. It took 94 years to be able to get Yoke here for some driving lessons. Also, I do have to admit, I'm a little concerned about Yoke because the fact that we like shoved him into one of the cryo eggs with just like a bunch of greenery. I too would want to go ahead and sleep with a bunch of greenery if I had to be in a cryo egg for 93 years. But what did it do to him? What did it do to him? Good to have those ice extractors handy for our water supply. I was getting worried about my greenhouse hatchlings. It's quite easy. What do you mean seedling? Hatchlings. I was hoping that, you know, the doctor was talking about growing plants, but now I'm wondering if they are working on a plant-bird hybrid. I am completely okay with that. Once placed on an icy patch, they begin isolating and extracting the constituent components. Wonderful, wonderful. We'll go ahead and take care of that as well. Let me just back up a little. See where we've got some big old, well, we do have a bunch of big old patches of methane on like this asteroid, so. And look at that, it's handy dandily right next to us. So we'll start extracting. Now we've got methane that will apparently do something to help us out there. And then the captain wants us to find a strangelet. The reactor wants that methane that we are now producing, which will be quite nice. The ice extractor we cannot upgrade just yet. We're already extracting like aluminum, like our life depends on it, because technically it does. And we're gonna keep exploring with our tech points to see if we can find where a strangelet might be as we push our way further into space. Oh, what's this? Did we find a strangelet or was there just nothing on this one? This is such a cool looking asteroid. Okay, I wonder if they're all just shaped a little differently. We can start getting water for some of them, apparently. Then maybe we need to visit each one? So find a strangelet. And maybe if we keep upgrading our space station, that will help out. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if we need to build like a research spot on each area. Look at the greenhouse. Wow. And the manufacturing units and the labs. I mean, I guess it makes a lot of sense now that I'm thinking about it, that you would need to go ahead and just keep pulling in research because it's data, and I guess that's kind of part of the point. We're here to go ahead and collect data, and maybe as we put a little extractor bit on each planet, we'll discover something that will help us out. Let's see, we'll upgrade this to get the water going, and then that will get the greenhouse producing things, and we can work on getting little Yoke down here. The upgrades are a little addicting, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see, uranium is being sent. And now that gets the water off for the greenhouse. And we should have some good upgrades there. Okay, Captain. And we've explored as far as we can go right now, right? We have. So yeah, my next guess would be, this one's kind of a mystery spot. If we plunk ourselves down here, it definitely was glowing in a very interesting way. We'll go ahead and recall this launch pad, because I guess that's one way of exploring each of the planets, would be to build like a launch pad area on each one. And that gives us a bit of a idea of what they look like, because we can recall the launch pads. I like how we clean up after ourselves too. That's really important, to make sure that we're not like leaving behind just a giant mess. And I do like how it does help to put the launch pads down if we're just trying to kind of gauge what the different resources might be in each zone. All right, so let's go ahead. Don't leave behind little Yoke. Gotta bring him. And let's see, the methane's being sent. We're also working on the greenhouse. Good, good, good. We'll keep doing a little more exploring. I'm a little suspicious about all this after all. Oh, there it is! There it is! Well, pluck me and call me a roast. Is that what I think it is? Finally, we're getting to the good stuff. I'll bet my birdseed that there was some alien relics inside. Or an actual alien. Easy, we gotta get this thing inside first, and it's frozen up real good. Yay, we found it! Okay, that's right. We need the excavation hub. And then, let's see. So, Ruth needs some water sent to the hub in order to, like, power it. All right, let's defrost this popsicle, but first I need water for the excavator's engine cooling system. Okay, and then meanwhile, our lab wants either, oh, treasuries. Okay, look, we got sulfur being sent. We'll accept the sulfur for just a minute. And then I need water for, oh my word. Okay, come here. I'm trying to, all right, what if, okay, everybody is deciding who wants to be the most important bird in the flock right now. So we need water sent here. We have methane, not water. We also have aluminum here, which means ooh, and there's a component lab we can go ahead and research for electronics. I need acid in order to make the component lab. I can sense it. I can sense it. The logistics are beginning to build, friends. Okay, so let's put down a launch pad here, leading here. Let's go find another spot to be able, let's send water from this asteroid. Because why not? All right, let's recall this launch pad and put it down over here. And now we've got water there. Okay. We'll start extracting the water. And we'll upgrade the launch pad to make sure that we're just like bringing in some of that good water, and we're gonna send the water to this launch pad. Oh my word. It's so cute! The little logistics of putting all of my ducks in a row. Ah, all right. Meanwhile, I think it's time. We've upgraded the lab. Now, like, the lab wants acid. I have to go ahead and research that anyway, because we do want to upgrade the space station as much as we can. And that just means reminding ourselves, oh, there we go! We've already sent the water from the other asteroid. I'm so proud of us. I've got a theory on how to crack this one open, but I need to run test. Can you get me some plastic so I can build a prototype? Okay, okay. And that means the component lab, which means that I am going to need to go ahead and let's see, the plastics. If we get hydrocarbon from water and carbon from methane and oxygen. You've gotta love how all of that lays out. So, first things first, we gotta get the acid. Okay, that's sulfur and water. I have some good news. Maybe we'll be able to make like just a spot, sulfur and water. There's sulfur, there is water. So I think that there's only one spot the sulfur comes from. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see, launch pad, maybe a second launch pad? Possibly, because I need the ship to keep getting stuff too. So we'll put down another one of the launch pads. We'll get a sulfur extractor here. We'll give it a little upgrade. We'll upgrade this launch pad. We will methane. I think we need more credits now too. I love this so much because it's just chaos. And now I need another landing pad over here. Is this really where, okay, acid, sulfur, water. This is This is not okay. Getting water here, and then should I just okay? Let's try this out. Maybe this will be one of the places we can just make some acid right here, because I can have a landing pad there. Excellent, excellent. And now we're going to send one of the sulfurs this way. So now we have water and sulfur both landing on this planet. And we need a chemical lab in order to mix the two together. And guess what we've got? We've got a nice little chemical lab right over here. Let's see. Do I have another launch pad? I do. It's kind of over here. Okay. We're gonna experiment with this. So let me remove this pipe. So now I want the water and the sulfur are both going into the chemical lab. It is making acid. The acid is going to be sent to this launch pad. I think we already failed upgrading buildings, but I don't know if we have or not. This poor little bird looked really sad. Okay, this launch pad bird seems a lot happier. Oh my word. Okay, so once we start getting the acid sent off, then we'll be able to start doing the research about what we have here. So chemical lab, I cannot upgrade you just yet. You need more water. Okay. And then it's the sulfur. We've got a good backup of the sulfur. The length of the pipes, I just realized, is going to be helpful for being able to kind of stockpile more into a pipe, which I don't think a backlog in your pipes is really what you were trying to look for. You know what I mean? But it's what we got. And also now I think we'll be able to send off a lot of water from the launch pad. I love this. This is such adorable, messy chaos. It's so perfect. And we're still sending out little signals to let who even knows what that might be a little too curious in us go ahead and know that, hey, we're here, which I personally am a little nervous about that idea, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's sulfur and methane. Let's accept that. And then it looks like, yes! All right, the component lab has been researched. And so now we are ready to start working on the components. My word. And we're almost done with upgrading the lab, which will make me very happy. And now we just need to get carbon from the methane and the oxygen. Right. I think this is gonna be our new little carbon asteroid as well. So we need a chemical lab mixing the methane and the oxygen. The oxygen we need to refine from water. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We totally have this, you guys. Okay, so let's see. So we just need a refiner. All right, first things first, we've got to extract ourselves water. And we've got to extract ourselves methane, and we've got to put in a refiner, and the refiner, I think, makes the oxygen, and then the oxygen, we'll send off some of it over to the ship to be blasted off into space again. Wait, is that ship gonna only blast to... Uh-oh. I better put down another spot so that we're sending this off not to my landing site. All right, there we go. Now that will go to this oxygen will now go to the spaceship because of course it's going to be this complicated, but hey, we can upgrade a park while we're working on everything else. And hey, look at that. We can start doing, like, once it really starts rolling, that's the big appeal of it, I think, because you just start feeling really proud. Okay, so, right. Let's get those carbons made with the methane and the oxygen mixed together into a chemical lab. So let's do this. And then we're probably gonna need one of the pipe hubs right here, because we're gonna have to go ahead and tell the refiner, send some oxygen here and send, uh-oh, okay. Because we need some of the oxygen. Okay. Sent here, some sent here, some sent here. And then that will refine the 2 pieces. And is that gonna make my carbon? Methane and oxygen. Yes, we found the carbon! Are gonna become carbon. And then we just need more water. We need more water in another chemical lab. Okay. We're really getting there. So now, okay, other chemical lab, you come over here. Now we've got the carbon. And now the carbon needs to come over to this chemical lab, and I need to mix together. So carbon and water will make the hydrocarbon. Okay. So now I need the carbon to go here. We need another ice extractor here. That's going to make the hydrocarbon. And the hydrocarbon needs to go into a refiner, and it will make the plastic. So refiner makes the plastic, and then we take the plastic. This is very exciting. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Let's make sure we're building up more of the like treasury in the background. A circuit board! And I need to make quartz if we want to upgrade the treasury on the station, which hopefully is like, look at all of these things. We're like upgrading stuff across the board. Let's see. So right now, refiner, you're backed up on plastics because we need to take the plastics, and I need to send the plastic to the extraction point. Oh boy. Okay. So that means that we're gonna remove this oxygen pipe. We're gonna turn this into a plastic shipment little launch pad. And let's see. We're gonna send the plastic off to the planet. Here we go. Okay, so now we need to send the plastic to Honoria, which is the, there we go. So I need you guys sent over here. I think that'll work. And so now it's sending oxygen, and but that's just little oxygen left over, and the plastic. And now the plastic needs to go. There's water. There's the plastics. I need the plastics to not be going into there. Uh-oh. Okay, nobody panic. We're gonna make this work. We're totally gonna make this work somehow, I think. Look, we just gotta give Ruth some of these plastics, and then when things become better, we can free it up. All right, look at that. Look at that. Look at that delivery. I think Ruth's gonna like it. I hope. And meanwhile, we also need to remember how to make some quartz really quickly. The water and the silicon, of course. How could I have forgotten? Because we absolutely are going to be upgrading the space station while we're here. But Ruth has got the plastic. Huh, making that prototype was easier than stealing a worm from a warbler. I can build a custom excavation tool. All I need is some sturdy ceramics, electronic components, and energy. Let's get flapping. Ruth, you know I never stop you from cooking up crazy inventions, but some safety gear wouldn't hurt. How about a mask? Huh, never figured you'd be the health and safety type, but thanks for looking out for me, Rust. Oh. Ceramics, circuit boards, and energy. Of course. We just gotta get the aluminum and the carbon hanging out together and being happy. Oh, I love this. All right, well, let's also make sure that we're remembering how to make quartz so that we can really start building up a little treasury to make all of our wonderful little burbs quite happy. And I mean, it's happening. It's happening. Here we go. We'll have a little Takmasa can become our little quartz planet because we just need water and silicone and mix it together. And what do you get? Apparently, if you're really lucky, cute quartz pieces that will be able to go ahead and is it quartz made out of a refiner? refiner. Okay, hold up. I need the chemical lab. Whew. I'm so glad we double checked. But all right, guys, I'm going to see how many more pieces we can kind of squeeze in here and there, where the energy we might need to really start pulling together needs to go. And I will see you all as we continue hatching these adventures next time. Bye-bye.